My name is Rachel Brewster. I'm a Regency romance writer documenting my journey from writing to publication. And today I want to talk about book blurbs. And book blurbs is the little marketing piece so that if you click on a book cover, you can read the book blurb. Or if you're in a physical Barnes and Noble, grab a book and you look at the back cover, right? It's the marketing copy of the thing that you want to read and needs to convince you that you want to read. So why are book blurbs important? There are three things that sell books, from my understanding. The cover, which is an emotional reaction, right? Like, ooh, that looks interesting. Then there's the book blurb. Okay, I've clicked on the cover, but tell me more. Convince me that I should read your book. And then the third thing that sells books would be reviews, right? I'm interested in the cover. The story sounds good. Let me scroll down and look at the reviews because I'm not convinced, right? If you can do the trifecta and get all three, then you're going to do great as an author. So let's talk about book blurbs and how to make them fun and cool and interesting, and make people want to read your book and convert. So what I'm going to show today is a bad book blurb and a good book blurb and why they are good and bad. And you can feel free to be the judge. Judge me all you want. So this is my book, tentatively titled To Kiss a Captain. And my very first draft is the one I'm going to show you is the bad book blurb. So let's go through that first. A lady in disguise, a captain with a past, a love as dangerous as the sea. Dun, dun, dun. So we've already got our hero and our heroine and something. Why did I put this up here? You have to remember when you're looking at Amazon, they're only going to see the first couple hundred characters. You need to catch them right away and catch their interest, right? Like in total, this book blurb is probably 200 words, which is not a lot of words, but they're not even going to read that small amount of 200 words if you don't capture them in the first sentence. It's like the first line of your book. It should immediately captivate your audience. So that's my attempt of doing so with To Kiss a Captain and giving them just a little bit of flavor and making them want to read more and even click the read more part of the book blurb, right? Because they're probably only going to see what, this much in total. All right, you get it. A lady in disguise. On the Thorn, Jessica survives by disguising herself as the son of a sailor. If the crew even bothers to look her way, they see nothing more than a lowly shipman. But Jessica is not a child anymore, and underneath her disguise beats the heart and blood, and the heart of a flesh and blood woman. A captain with a past. Captain Andrew Burkhalter rules the Thorn with an iron fist. He strikes fear into the hearts of everyone aboard, except his mother. Lady Burkhalter is determined to make her son come home, but Andrew left London years ago and swore he would never return. So we're already getting an idea of what the conflict is, right? Well, actually the conflict was up here. Like she's got a secret she's trying to hide. More conflict here between him and his mother, but not between the hero and the heroine, still ramping it up. An accident at sea. When one of his men is knocked overboard, Andrew rescues the lad and is enraged to discover that the sailor is actually a woman. Caught in his clutches, Jessica is exposed and powerless before her vengeful captain. A dangerous deception. Before Andrew can unleash his wrath, Lady Burkhalter whisks Jessica away to London. Convinced it's a ploy to get him returned to England, Andrew keeps his feet planted firmly on the Thorn, but the lure of seeing Jessica again may be too tempting to resist. So I would call this good, not great if I'm evaluating my own work. One thing I want to call out real quick is this deception word. When I was doing some checking out Amazon for keywords within Regency romance, deception was one that popped up. It's not a word that I would normally use, but 100% fits with my story. And if it's a keyword, then heck yeah, I want that to be in my book blurb and making sure that that's popping up. So when this is in bold, what this is actually going to be once it's in Amazon is an H2 tag. H2 meaning like this. We'll talk about that more later. Not in this video. With that word deception, part of me is actually wondering if like this should be like a deception as dangerous as the sea. Those are minor things. The major thing is I don't think it's captivating enough. If I read this, I would be interested, but not dying to read this book, right? And it took me a while as the person who wrote it to figure out why it feels off. Couple of things. One, this is what happens. It's factual. That's not what sells books. What sells books is the emotional hook, right? And particularly, I didn't like that Andrew Burkhalter rules his ship with an iron fist. He strikes fear into the hearts of everyone aboard except his mother. And she is a puppet master, don't get me wrong. She's one tough biatch. But it feels like I've set up this character who's like tough and rugged and then cut the feet out from under him, been like, but he's a mommy's boy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way. So my two biggest things is that it is more factual of like, yes, this is true. Lady Burkhalter discovers Jessica and whisks her away to London to try to bait her son into coming back to London too. But our reader doesn't care yet. And number two, I think it kind of sets up Andrew to be a little bit of a mommy's boy, and that feels wrong. That's not what I'm trying to get across. Okay, so that's why I would say this book blurb, draft number 1 of To Kiss a Captain, is good, not great. And it needs to be great to convert readers. So let's look at draft number 2 and see if you think it's better than draft number 1. Okay. A lady in disguise, a captain with a past, a love as dangerous as the sea. I think that still works. On the Thorn, Jessica survives by disguising herself as the son of a sailor. If the crew even bothers to look her way, they see nothing more than a lowly shipman. But Jessica is not a child anymore, and underneath her disguise beats the heart of a flesh and blood woman. Dun, dun, dun. No. Nothing has changed here. So let's continue. Captain with a past. Captain Andrew Burkhalter, the lost son of Viscount Burkhalter, is the terror of the high seas. He rules the Thorn with an iron fist and strikes fear into the hearts of everyone aboard. His mother is completely eliminated. A dangerous deception. When an accident at sea knocks one of his men overboard, Andrew rescues the lad, only to discover that the sailor is actually a woman. Enraged by her deception, Andrew locks Jessica in his cabin. He is determined to teach her a lesson and bend her to his will. Caught in his clutches, Jessica is exposed and powerless before her vengeful captain, but she stubbornly refuses to cower. And when Andrew pins her against a wall, he finds his steely control being tested. No, I'm slightly uncomfortable reading it out loud. I'm not going to lie to you, which tells me it's probably like tantalizing and a little bit Regency romance. Oh my goodness, I want to read it. Yeah, I'd be like vaguely embarrassed to read this to my mom, but I think with the right audience, Regency romance lovers are reading it for the romance, for the chemistry between the two main characters, in this case, Jessica and Andrew. And so I wanted to amplify that by his mom and how his mom plays a role in this story doesn't matter as much to the reader at this point, because they want, tell me about the romance and the love and the angst between the two. I don't care about his mom. I don't care about his mom. They'll care about his mom later. Don't you worry. So just by removing her, that set up Andrew and Jessica to be pitted against each other, kind of in a enemies to lovers kind of a setup. right? And stopped him from looking like a mama's boy, which he's not. Additionally, I think clarifying that Andrew is the lost son of a Viscount is helpful. In draft number 1, I never actually say what his background is and just say, well, his mom is a lady, which means he's probably a nobleman, but it's not super clear. So I think that this draft blurb is stronger, significantly stronger. I would read this. If this had a good book cover that made me click, if I read this and it had reviews, it would convert me. Like I would definitely buy this. I'm into it. It's also mine, so. And I guess there's really no way to know until I actually reach the point of publication and launch it and watch my numbers to see if this is converting. If it's not, if the conversion rate is low, I will have to recraft it. I hope I don't have to, because this is like the strongest version I can currently think of. So that's it. That is the video for today. It's about book blurbs and how to be self-aware and self-critical and look at your work and think about your book from the reader's point of view, or the potential reader's point of view, and making them want to convert and click. It's about the hero and the heroine and whatever is stopping them from being together, right? The conflict. Are they friends and it would be weird for them to fall in love with each other and they go on this journey together? Or is it more, this one's more of an enemies to lovers kind of a thing? There's strong tension between them. So you got to pitch it, you got to sell it, you got to make them want it. You should want them to want it. Want them to want it. Yes. Okay. That's long enough. I would be really curious to hear what you think about draft 1 and draft 2, and if you agree that draft 2 is stronger than draft 1, and if would this book blurb make you want to read? Tell me that in the comments below. And if you liked this video and want to follow me along on the journey from writing my very first Regency romance novel all the way through to publication, I would love for you to join me on this journey. You can click all of the buttons below to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope this video was helpful and or entertaining and or both. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now.